And there we are. Let me just turn on the music for myself real quick. Pull up the YouTube. Hi. We are doing raids. Woo. Specifically today we're doing the Pandaemonium raids, or at least starting them. Yeah, follow age I don't care how long your account has existed, just so long as you don't break the rules. Oh, wrong button, I meant to go to the gameplay scene. Yay. So yesterday we were doing the... Yeah, I have switched scene on buttons on my stream deck, and I also have a dedicated button for the yeet sound effect. Anyway, we're not going to be continuing the MSQ today. And we're saving this guy for... We're going to talk to this guy tomorrow. In fact, we're talking to Nemjiji today. The crystal from beyond. Nemjiji nodded at you as if she was expecting your arrival. It appears my calculations were correct. I knew at this very spot I would encounter none other than Kinesi, the hero who saw us through the final days. So certain was I of my mark that I stood here for, well, let's not concern ourselves with that. I am Nemjiji, assistant to one Professor Claudian. We work with the Ideoscope to observe the Ethereal Sea and dive into its myriad mysteries. Some mysteries, though, are beyond even our capabilities to unravel. The strange crystal we've recently discovered, for instance, defies our every conjecture. Oh! Did you wake up early, or did you go for the night? Into the center of the star and far beyond it. However, so we hope that you may see something in this crystal that we academics do not. I beg you lend us your well-traveled eye at Aporia. Professor Claudian and I will be awaiting your arrival. To Aporia, I guess. And that's the wrong button. There's Aporia. As I live and breathe, it really is you. I assumed Nemjiji was simply attempting to pull one over on me, as it were. Perhaps I should pay more heed to her wild claims. Yeah, you went through the night, I'm guessing. At least on a Saturday, I wonder, but I know people who wake up before that, even. Welcome. We appreciate any insight you can provide on the matter of this crystal. Professor Claudian will share the particulars with you. Greetings, Kinesi. And welcome to my humble laboratory. I'm sure Nemjiji already told you plenty about us, but allow me to introduce myself personally. I'm Claudian, leader of this little research collective. I must admit, I have been nervous about this meeting ever since Nemjiji set out to find you. For a researcher in my field, there's no greater an honor than to meet the first woman in history to traverse the Ethereal Sea and return to tell the tale. The professor speaks often and at length of your deeds, but he has no small number of achievements to his own name. He has peered deeper into the Ethereal Sea than any other in Charlian, and the breadth of his knowledge is peerless. Oh. Peerless, perhaps, but for a single woman we must seize this precious opportunity. Skip the line. Seize this precious opportunity to learn what we can from her, and perhaps crack this conundrum that has stumped the three of us for moons. It was we who peered into the fathomless sea of the Anti-Tower in the Dravanian hinterland. There we spoke of Hyderlin and learned of the fate that will befall this star, the final days. Soon thereafter, all research was moved to Labyrinthos, and through the Itoscope that we continue our vigil. As impressive a work as the device is, however, it can glimpse but a fraction of the sea's infinite depths. Which brings us to the matter at hand. Not long after the Exodus was declared, we discovered an unusual crystal shard during a routine observation. It appeared before us suddenly, as if propelled to the surface by some unknown force. We found that it possessed an ethereal density that exceeds that of normal crystals by orders of magnitude, and its shape resembles nothing which occurs in the natural world. It was made, not formed. Unfortunately, that was the extent of the information we could glean before we were forced to turn our focus towards the Exodus. The crystal was very nearly forgotten amidst the sudden upheaval. But thanks to the efforts of a certain someone, that crisis is now behind us, and we are free to resume our research. Thus did we decide to seek you out, the dauntless adventurer who delves into the unknown and beheld its innermost secrets. And now we would have you see for yourself. What's the crystal? Here's the crystal in question. If it resembles aught you have encountered before, even by the smallest degree, please say so. Wait a moment, that's a constellation crystal. That's the shape of the constellation crystals. Memory abides within this crystal. As I thought. You do know what this is. Please, tell me everything. Okay, but it's best to grab a seat, because this will take a while. I see. The Asians use these to transfer their memories to new vessels. Fascinating indeed. It was plain that this crystal was special somehow, but this revelation surpasses even my considerable expectations. Similar artifacts have appeared throughout the ages. Memories of martial techniques manifest as crystalline shards on the battlefield. Or storied stones passed from master to student. Comparison between said artifacts and this crystal may prove a fruitful first step in unveiling its true nature. What do you think, Professor? Asian memories, windows through which we can gaze upon the convocation of 14. Unlike the crystal in Kinesi's story, this one does not bear the mark of the convocation. Who then could these memories belong to? And more importantly, why were they stored in this particular shard? More importantly still, why was it set adrift on the ethereal sea? Professor! Professor! Claudian! Huh? Yes? I am well aware that contemplation is the key to the breakthrough, but there is propriety to consider. We have a guest. One you invited explicitly. Must we do this every time? What? Ah, yes, of course, our guest. Terribly sorry. I do so easily find myself unmoored by the tides of rumination. Perhaps a more engaging use of your time with us would be for you to take up that crystal. If indeed there are memories stored within, they may reveal themselves to you upon contact. If anyone message called Pandaemonium, please. Faces, brave Fred, star, in danger. Australia! Ah, the land down under. That expression does not bode well. What did you see? I do believe it's time for me to pay a visit to the first again. Pandaemonium. 'Tis not a word I have heard before. If my knowledge of the ancient tongue serves me, it means all demons. Not a name that inspires optimism, all things considered. And again, Australia is currently experiencing winter, right? I mean, it's summer in the northern hemisphere, so winter in the southern hemisphere. In the event that another star-shattering cataclysm is in fact bearing down upon us, I would have the aforementioned examples of crystallized memory to hand. Nemgigi, Risano, I entrust their procurement to you. If there are more memories to be extracted from this crystal, we will find them. As for you, Knezi, there's a person I would have you seek. The one who has delivered so dire a warning. Story tells us that this crystal could very well have been made by one of the ancients. If that's the case, discerning the nature of this pandemonium would require a trip far into the past, to an era before the Sundering. How do you know? I know only of one individual capable of such a feat. The very hero who traversed time to prevent the world's doom. Me? I must confess, the tales people tell of your adventures beg a belief. And their veracity has been a subject of much debate among my peers. After today's meeting, however, there can be no doubt in my mind that every incredible exploit is fact. So I ask you now, return to the past, find what and where this pandemonium is, and if we need to be concerned by this message. Thank you. For the time being, you should keep the crystal in your possession. I do not think you have seen the last of its memories. Ah. Okay, that's maybe a bit oversharing. I'll delete that message real quick. Unfortunately, I don't need to know your birthday. Who am I kidding? It's already logged in the VOD. I do not think you've seen the last of its memories, and more may be drawn out as you approach their source. Safe travels, and may we meet again soon to share our findings. I guess to the past. First, the Crystarium. Yeah, but still, it's... I don't need to know it. There's the Crystarium gatekeep. Welcome, my lady. If you wish to go to the ocular, I would be glad to escort you. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do before I go through the ocular. Not that one, this one. Into the past we go. If receives this message. If anyone receives this message, yep, that's easy enough. Just gave me the tunnel back to the past. Come to Pandaemonium quickly. That hurts. Where? When? Back in Elpis. And who might you be? All right. Huh? Could it be? No, of course not. But for the briefest moment, I thought you to be a dear friend of mine. I realize now that such a notion is preposterous. What's your name, my good man? She told me a falling star would appear before me, and I suppose you must be it. Truth be told, I did not expect the expression to be so, literal. Tennis. Swift Bloom. Withdraw. Ah. So it was Azim that he was referring to. Apologies for not introducing myself properly. My name is Themis, as you can see by my face. My bare face, I am not one of Elpis' observers. Rather, I am come here on assignment, which has been more or less routine up until this very moment. You certainly do know how to make an entrance. I must wonder what brought you here. For it is plain you do not belong here, or any place I know for that matter. I'm also here on an assignment. You are here to investigate Pandaemonium, perchance? It would not surprise me should we share a purpose. If so, we may be able to help one another. But first, might I trouble you to explain how you came to collide with my skull? It's honestly a long story, and I don't think we have the time to tell. I see. I believe that dispels any major doubts I have concerning your intentions. Apologies for being so intrusive. But you must understand this is an uncommon occurrence. Oh. I shall pry no further, for I am well aware that we all have secrets we must keep. However, if I may, I would very much like to take a look at this crystal of yours. Uh-oh. Here you go. Fascinating. While I cannot say much as to what it contains, it is clear that there are memories stirring within. Memories that speak of something gravely amiss in Pandaemonium. I don't know why, but I feel like I've met him before on my journey. The facility extends beneath Elpis and is overseen by the words of La Habrea. It houses those creations that are highly valued as research subjects and highly dangerous to the star. Naturally, it is strictly guarded and under constant surveillance. Several days ago, however, a natural shift in the flow of its surrounding ether was detected. Soon thereafter, all communications from Pandaemonium ceased. I'm here as a representative of an organization that worked directly with the Convocation, and have been tasked with investigating this incident. Now that there is some measure of transparency between us, might I offer a suggestion as to what we should do next? During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. These can be exchanged for equipment by speaking with Helene in Aporia or Jole in Radzatan. Oh, we're at the morning dew. Yeah. Where familiars dare. Temes is eager to commence the investigation into Pandaemonium. Now then, my proposal is a simple one. Let us journey to Pandaemonium together. Our destination is the same, and I suspect the arrangement would work to our mutual benefit. Besides, I should have no trouble gaining us both access. I do hope you agree. I would be loath to part ways from the falling star. I'd been waiting. The falling star I'd been waiting for so long for. Originally, I'd planned to conduct my investigation with the friend I mentioned earlier. She had also noticed the anomaly near Pandaemonium, so it only seemed natural that we should investigate it together. However, she eventually decided it would be unwise for us both to go. If two members of our organization were seen poking our heads about restricted facilities, it could raise questions, you see. I decided to go it alone. But she left me with these words: "Fear not, for in my absence a star shall fall before you." Oh. While I could not comprehend her meaning at the time, I believe now I understand. She does have a way of being right about these things. Even so, her hints of what to come are generally more cryptic. I suppose I should have kept my gaze to the heavens. Suffice it to say, I am grateful for your presence either way. As for the matter at hand, we must first gain permission from the words of La Habrea for entry into Pandaemonium. There ought to be a speaker waiting at Anagnoresis. I sent a request for permission before setting forth to Albus. With luck, we shall not be waiting long. What a fascinating etheric signature. In accordance with the convocation's request, the two of you have been granted leave to observe Pandaemonium. I shall register your ether for the records. From this point on, you may freely come and go from Pandaemonium as you please. Now, that was a painless process. I shall take this as a sign we were meant to conduct our investigations together. Of course. While you have been permitted entry into the facility, the specimens housed inside must be handled with the utmost care. You are to heed the warder's instructions at all times. Those who conduct their work within Pandaemonium are called warders for their role with respect to the creatures within. Generally, creations that pose a threat to the safety of the star must be undone. However, the words of La Habrea has deemed certain such creations as worthy of further study, interring them within the facility. Those who spend their days in Pandaemonium are not merely researchers. They must work tirelessly to ensure that none of their subjects slip their shackles. For all intents and purposes, the place is a dungeon. Perhaps such a comparison arouses frightful imagery, but Pandaemonium is a frightful place. I know not the purpose of your investigation, but if you discover aught that merits a report, pray do so with utmost haste. Master La Habrea shall guide us upon the proper course of action from there. Then I take it means you have detected nothing amiss of late? The warders have reported nothing that would cause alarm. Minor fluctuations in ether have been observed, but surely Master La Habrea would have acted if there were anything worth worrying about. I see. It appears La Habrea has kept well abreast of the goings-on here then. I hope I am not familiar with I'm not overstepping my boundaries by asking, but you seem to be quite familiar with Master La Habrea. Do you know him? Oh, the stories I could tell you. You are no mere familiar, are you? Master La Habrea is not known for being generous with his time. That one would have stories of his company almost beggars belief. Regardless, while I doubt I need to tell you this, he is of the convocation. Take care that your actions do not hinder his work. With that, we are free to make our way to Pandaemonium. The naos that will take us there is on the eastern bank of the lake. Now let's delay no further. Housefit! I too had to contain my surprise for the sake of appearances. But is it true that you too have met La Habrea in the flesh? I find you more fascinating by the moment. Still, I shall refrain from asking too many questions. Secrets will make our journey all the more intriguing. We shall come to know each other in time, I wager. Or else why would fate have orchestrated our meeting? In any case, let us be off. Truth be told, this will be my first time beholding the fabled Pandaemonium with my own eyes. Here's to a new adventure, eh? As much as I feared. The speaker seemed in such high spirits that for a moment I thought the ethereal regularity was not nearly so grave a portent as I had imagined. Alas, it was a fleeting and vain hope. To gaze upon this complex network of chains and walls, the untrained eye might not sense anything awry. No effort has been spared in making this place impenetrable. Oh. Even the finest of masterworks is not without its flaws, however. Someone or something is tampering with the protections. It is working from within, eroding them from the inside out. Fear not. There is no immediate danger. I reinforced what protections I could the moment we arrived. This will not put an end to whatever is occurring, but it shall at least serve to slow its progress. One small victory, though the road ahead is yet long. Yes, powerful forces are at work here. The silence in the air speaks volumes. While I did not expect a bustling facility, I see not a single warder. Our first course of action should be to seek one out, wherever they may be. However, there is something you must know. The magic I wove upon entering requires my constant awareness. That is to say, if we are forced to fight, I cannot risk joining you in battle. Should I lose focus, Pandaemonium's protections will rapidly crumble before the force assailing them. Were there not a way, I would gladly choose it. But let us at least be grateful that neither of us is here alone, trapped in hopeless circumstances. If we should fail to find a peaceable solution, then I hope I can rely on you and your strength to see us through. This request doesn't come as a surprise, to be honest. At least you received it with good humor. Rest assured, I do not mean to stand by idly while you risk life and limb. I hope to be able to lend at least a touch of magical support. Creation magics do have their uses in that regard. I had in mind to use your ether as a basis for illusory allies that will fight at your side. Perhaps 7 will do. Not exactly an army, but by the looks of you, a formidable band nonetheless. Then so it shall be. Now, what, I wonder, awaits us in Pandaemonium's pitiless halls? Terrors have to say. I cannot say for sure what awaits us. Let us make ready for the worst, and we shall not be taken by surprise. Summon and pulled straight to Elpis. The statue wasn't built overnight. It's stuck in a sort of time bubble of roughly a year. Look at him. Look at her craft. Look at her craft. Oh. Pop. White mage. Wait, who? Who? What? I'll save them. I must. This appears to be one of the warders we seek, but I'm afraid he is in no state to answer questions. Jailer's flail. Water blast. You will go no further. That was nothing, Eric. look at that. I had that one on. Where familiar's dead. That was a thrilling display. And if I may be so vaunting, the warriors I spun from your ether fought even more splendidly than I had anticipated. I suppose they were cut from excellent cloth after all. I should wait until this man regains his senses. He wears the robes of a warder, and I would be very curious to know what drove him to attack us sight unseen. Is he? He stirs. What came over me? It's coming back to me. My mind was filled with a storm of desperation, anger. I leapt at you, though I knew naught of your intentions. Pray accept my apologies and my thanks. Had you not knocked some sense back into me, I may have fallen upon someone less capable of defending themselves. I am Erictonius, a warder of Asphodelos, Pandaemonium's highest layer, and the place we're in now. One must wonder why you were so desperate to keep us out. What is happening in Pandemonium? The creations interred within us Fordelos have been set free, and stalk its halls to no end but violence. That's not good, to say the least. Has this ever happened before? No, never. Each level of Pandaemonium is under the charge of a key ward, who keeps strict control over the most minute aspects of their domain. They're selected with great care, and their loyalty to Master La Habrea is absolute. Yet something has gone very terribly wrong. Terribly wrong. Try as we might to hold the line, the chaos within is overwhelming. I hardly realized that I had become separated from my colleagues. I remember a chorus of whispers assailing my senses, and afterwards only flashes of rage and fury, and blackness from which I awoke to find that whatever had overcome me was gone. I see. Your senses may have been muddled by magics that affect the mind. Perhaps the self-same ones that saw you separated from the other warders. Whatever had taken hold of me, thank you for releasing me from its clutches. That you've come here from the surface must mean some word of our plight has reached the outside world. If you know anything that may help, pray tell. Horror among horrors. So Pandemonium's protections are indeed being dismantled from within. But a self-same individual, or individuals, that released its captives and set them upon you, no doubt. Such knowledge avails us little, however, if we cannot ascertain their identity. Temis, was it? You said you worked for an organization under the auspices of the Convocation. Were they to receive word of what has transpired here, what measures would they take? Doubtless they would consider the place to be a lost cause. Pandemonium's ties to the outside world would be severed. Or perhaps would be wiped from existence entirely. Uh-oh. As I thought. Were the creatures to escape from the outside world, there would be untold carnage. The words of La Habrea would never risk that, despite what value the research subjects may hold. All the more reason to work with haste. If we can't expect further help, then it falls upon me to save the others. I'll not leave them behind. You would go alone? I won't leave the other warders to face certain doom. I know they fight for survival even now. They wouldn't abandon their duty. They would see the creatures return to their cells at all costs. And so I must do the same. Temis, I know the request I'm about to make of you is a monumental one. But please, say not a word of this to the Convocation until I've been given a chance to set things right. Forgive my rudeness, Ser Antonius, but my decision cannot be swayed by emotion. You would only be consigning yourself to an early death. Strength of resolve alone cannot win in the face of overwhelming odds. Elidibus. I swear. I think that's who he becomes. That being said, our investigation has only just begun. And we would be remiss to turn back ere we've made an exhaustive survey. So, for the time being, there's only slightly more resolve to rely upon. I knew you would be all too eager to join us. Each moment since you fell from the skies has been more interesting than the last. More and more you remind me of my dear friend. Which goes some way toward encouraging me that this matter will yet reach a satisfactory conclusion. So you agree to help? For the moment, our goals align. The protective magics of Pandaemonium yet hold, so for the moment, time is in our favor. Let us proceed upon the course you and Kinesi have set us upon. Temis and Kinesi, yes? Thank you. The warders owe you a great debt already. We shall be glad to have someone so familiar with Pandaemonium's halls by our side. A party of three is ever so much more entertaining than a pair of two. Now let us turn our attention to rescuing your colleagues. Perhaps it would be wise to approach the gates in case any have followed you out. Seems our investigation will be quite the ordeal after all. Still, I find it hard to believe that La Habrea knows naught of what has transpired here. Whoever the mastermind of this crisis is, they do not lack for power or cunning. Under the surface, Erictonius is peering into the depths of Pandaemonium. Not a sound can be heard from within, which means neither creature nor warder has made it this far. We should begin forming a plan to save them at once. Forgive me if I misunderstand. I am getting annoyed. Okay, where were we? Naturally. Although they may be dangerous, they're valuable research subjects. And I'm talking my words now because I have to. I wouldn't see our labor, or untold hours of study, go to waste. I dare say La Habrea would smile to hear you say such a thing. That is, if we had cause to report this incident to him. Smile? Hi! Yeah, if you're wondering where's the chat, I disabled it because we had someone be very rude in the chat on the YouTube side. Which makes me consider just stopping streaming to that platform. Because the ban option is only a shadow ban. Smile. I'm not sure his face is capable of such warmth. Oh yeah. It's 9 o'clock. I need to go to the Gold Saucer. Ah, have you met him before? I was under the impression you rarely visited Pandaemonium. I have, yes. My mentor was the previous head of this facility. That is to say, La Habrea's predecessor in the position of Chief Key Ward. Her name was Athena, and she was a researcher with the words. 'Twas she who appointed me to this position, in fact. I see. Did not know there was a chief key ward before La Habrea. Your motivation to save your research subjects is entirely driven by duty to the words, then. You also wish to preserve the work of your mentor. You have the right of it. I'm merely lacking in ideas of how to go about that, however. I'm a mere warder, and I cannot wield interment magics. Of course, I can hardly expect you to be versed in the magics we use here. If you recall, during our battle earlier, I bound you in ethereal shackles. Interment is a more refined and powerful magic based upon the same principles, while both are to keep our subjects docile. Only the key ward of each tier is permitted to use interment. Even if I were allowed, I lack the aptitude to use the spell to any notable effect. Fascinating. I have some knowledge of these forms of spellcraft, actually. Mahabray himself established their foundation, if I recall. While shackles are meant to bind an object in place for a short time, interment freezes the very space around it for as long as the caster wills. Indeed, while the illusory beings you summon in our fight suggest this much, I certainly see your knowledge of magic is vast. Perhaps you've already mastered the art of interment and I've been lecturing you like a child all this time. I'm afraid my knowledge ends there. I have not the precise understanding of how invocations interact with natural laws that would be needed to cast said spells of any consistency. While I consider myself well versed in various magics, I would be ill-advised to assume the duties of key ward without instruction. That being said, if I were to learn more of interments and its inner workings, perhaps... Leave the fighting to me. The two of you can handle the rest. I dare say we can do just that. Erectonios, you implied that what prevented you from performing interment was lack of magical capacity. What if I supplemented your power with my own? Would the spell succeed then? Can't say for certain. I've never heard of such a thing being done. I believe it may be our best recourse. That is, of course, assuming you can perform the initial rites and incantations flawlessly. Even the smallest misstep and we would have to start over. You needn't worry about that. I've seen the spells cast so many times that their motions have been burned into my memory. I won't disappoint. I suppose there is the matter of finding one. It would be foolish to rush in blindly, lest we find ourselves surrounded with naught but an untested stratagem at our disposal. Nay, I would prefer to engage a single creature that Kinesi could dispatch on her own if the spell were to go awry. I agree, and I have an idea in that regard. I recall seeing the hippocampus wandering the waterways during my flight. Perhaps it's still there. A few of the subjects housed within this Fordelos are fond of water, and I believe we will be able to engage the beast without fear of unwanted guests. Then that shall be our first target. Or perhaps subject is a better term before we can... Amends to the interment magics, the creatures should be weakened to a sufficient degree. Then my illusions are quite by your side. The hippocampus will be alone, but it's a daunting opponent nonetheless. This magic warps the environment around it, and you'll be at home amidst the waterways. Steel yourself for a fight. Okay, I'll go ahead and jump to Fanalan, the gold saucer. Nothing at all. And again, nothing. And again, nothing. Duty finder. Q for P2N. I'm gonna make one moderation change on the YouTube side while we wait for the queue to pop, and I'm gonna go ahead and change the coloration on this again. Show all equipped gear, and I'll go ahead and go back into. I could take this one. There we go, same as usual, and just Oh. To the mist. There we go. Let me just go to items. I'm gonna go into my community tab. Here we go. Up. Yeah, shit. Strict. Oh, dang it, there's ads coming in. Here comes a beast. To me. Equal combos. Oh my, it splits it. Its body is split. Stack buster. I doubt it shouldn't have done anything good. Ow. Solutions are beginning to overflow. boosters are beginning to overflow again. Ow. Now. Oh. Succeeded. Ah, so that's how it's done. That was a trial by fire. Or water, I suppose. But I had faith we would see it through. So long as we had your stout arm, of course. I knew that you were no mere mercenary. Not to make such short and such clean work of the hippocampus. Seasoned fighters scarcely have the occasion to visit Pandaemonium, let alone display their skills. Mastery takes all forms indeed. Needless to say, our plan worked to perfection. In no small part thanks to you two. Terms' power was more than strong enough to complete the interment. Spellcasting was never my strong suit, but that almost made me feel like a proper magos. Truly, having seen your abilities firsthand in your fight with Kinesi, I beg to disagree. Shackles is the one exception. It's only because I've been forced to practice it since I was but a small child. Other magics leave me feeling completely out of my depth. Regardless, it seems luck is on my side, so to guide me to you. We may prove the impossible possible after all. Fires of creation. Well, our success in sealing away the hippocampus is certainly heartening. The fact that we have yet to see any other waters concerns me. Garnered what waters he could and retreated to a safe area. Let us hope so. It occurs to me that I know little of the key wards besides their magical prowess. Is there aught more you can share? Of course, we have a man named Hesperos is in charge of Asphodelos. Not only does he have thorough knowledge of the creatures here, but he takes great pains to be a mentor to each of the warders under his charge. He has done much to ensure I flourish here, in spite of my ineptitude of magic, and I have always known him to be the sort of man who faces difficult decisions with unwavering composure. Furthermore, key wards are not the only masters of interment. They also bend the hallways of Pandaemonium to their will with creation magics. With all of this in mind, I'm certain that so long as Hesperos guides them, the other warders are safe. I see why absolute control over environs is imperative. And we face the hippocampus upon arid sands instead of waterways. I suspect the battle would have ended much more quickly. In any case, if this Hesperos is as capable and caring as you say, we could do well to seek him out as soon as we can. He has, like as not, taken your colleagues to a secure location. Safest place would be the innermost circle of Asphodelos. From there, they could flee to Abyssos if hard pressed. Even should they have sought safe haven within the other circles, if we can make for the fourth, we ought to encounter them along on the way. Indeed, we shall gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation within Asphodelos, which will be essential in determining whether we ought to continue down to Abyssos. The rub, of course, is what I myself possess no power to bend the circles to my will. Instead, must proceed through the central corridor, which was barred by the Phoenix last checked. Phoenix, I've heard the name before. Fiery bird with life eternal. Beyond unquenchable brilliance, the perfect concept boasts nigh boundless restorative powers, if I recall. Truly an exemplary feat of creation magics. Perfection is built on the back of failure, however, and La Habrea suffered countless missteps during his experiments. And he was hardly the only one. This Phoenix would be but one of many attempts at the concept gone awry. Aye, far from evoking wonder, this Phoenix is a creature of fury and wrath, and seeks only to turn the world to ash. Thus was it confined within Pandaemonium. Development of the concept continued elsewhere, but as the moons turned, more and more researchers abandoned the project as an impossibility, save for La Habrea and his words. When I received word that at long last La Habrea had succeeded where so many others had failed, I was nearly overcome. Pray tell, how did the warders of the Pandaemonium celebrate their master's accomplishment? I don't believe we did. The research of the words of La Habrea has little consequence to our work here. Safe for the rare times it charges us with a new specimen. Truth be told, I don't remember anyone making note of the occasion. But enough reminiscing, we must make ready to confront the Phoenix. While it's possible that it flew off to some other wing of Pandaemonium, we would make that assumption at our own peril. Better to assume that we'll need to bring Asphodelos' most unruly subject to heel. I certainly see no reason to delay. The Phoenix's power over flame will avail it far less in the barren corridor than elsewhere, so it may well serve us to subdue it sooner rather than later. There it is. What? Oh, he set up the arena. Seems whoever is behind this can alter this space around us at will. We face an uphill battle. Impossible. If those were creation magics at work, then that means... Let us confront that reality after we have conquered the enemy in front of us. Let's drop our every drop of our focus shall be required if we are to inter the Phoenix. And as for Delos, the third circle. We go ahead and we have to wait. Wow, that was quick. The estimated queue time was 21 minutes. And yet, there we have it. A light party? No, a full party. Bird. Whoops. Endwalker. What do you mean a home stacking when it hit me from below? Darkness, fire.
I lived, but only barely. Turbo button.
Double tank buster.
Phoenix catch the fly, the ball. And here they come. Seal it away. Ba-da-ba-da-bum-bum-bum-ba-dum. Oh, I received commendations. And with that, the Phoenix is shackled once more. However, there's yet the matter of this arena. As you've told us, there's but one person as Fidelos with the ability and authority to wield such magics. Though fortunately it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. A contemptible display, as befits an inferior specimen. Even so, I expected it would at least delay your advance. Imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of interment drag the phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is even more of a failure than its creators cared to admit, or you are no mean trespassers. I had hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas. Keyword Hesperos. Why? Why have you brought such chaos to your beloved Pandaemonium? Pandaemonium. Pitiless, impenetrable, and utterly steadfast. Unlike those charged with its keeping. What has possessed you? I don't understand. Oh, Erictonios. You must pester me with these inane questions. Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. Then again, you've never been one for insight. Why must Alhabrea suffers your mediocrity I shall never understand? You may look like him, but you're not Hesperos I knew. I know. Something has warped you, too, from the inside out. The keyword I knew had compassion for all those under his charge, be they clad in robes or shackled in chains. Was all that a farce? Did you hide your contempt for us all these years? Those who are content to merely glimpse the water's surface are doomed to be dragged to its depths. You prove my opinion of you with every word. My mind is clearer than it has ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bile rise in my throat. What is a man? Such wasted pretension. To be son to Master Alhabrea, I had no more skill with magic than a newborn babe. Of course, it's always about Alhabrea. Silence! You are not worthy to utter his name. For once, to be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager ability. Beyond your shallow reckoning. I have slipped the surly bonds of mortality. I have become one with our mythic creations and rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. Now you? What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets, but enough talk. Have at you. As a Hermiteos, I shall serve as Lambre, ever faithful unto the end of days. And he shall require no other. I think not. Are you so blinded by arrogance that you have lost sight of what it means to serve? Erectonius is more capable than you could ever know. It was thanks to his instruction I was able to master the art of interment. How to wield it, and how to break free of it. Crazy, let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hesperos' mind, displaying his power far eclipses our own. We must have time to gather our strength. Weaklings though they may be, it takes a singular aptitude to master interment so quickly. Say nothing of how swiftly that familiar laid low the Phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing. Where they fritter away their strength in calming the beast. Saith Asphodelphos. Asphodelos, I will continue my work, even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain. Naught shall await them but doom. I eagerly await your arrival, Erectonius. Even dullards have their uses. What is a man? Let's check the dialogue from Antonius first. Please, leave me be. My darkest suspicions have been realized. We face the key ward of Asphodelos himself. More than that revelation, however, Erectonius worries me. He loved Hesperos for his compassion, but received naught but scorn from whatever the key ward has become. He has said little since our return. I only hope the shock of recent events does not prove to be a death knell for his resolve. Who wards the warders? Much as I am loath to disturb Erectonius so soon after what we've just occurred, I'm afraid the circumstances do not afford us the luxury of time. Perhaps it will do him well to speak about recent events concerning both the key ward and his father. Erectonius. Certain the creation of the ward which surrounds Pandaemonium was an astounding feat of magical prowess. A feat accomplished by none other than La Habrea. That both my father and I can bind others in chains is perhaps the only thing that we have in common. Ah, so it is true. Aye, I'm La Habrea's son. Bereft of his talent for magic or his brilliant mind, but his son nonetheless. Surely it doesn't come as entirely as a surprise to you. I had an inkling when you said you'd practiced the ethereal shackles since childhood. Assuming you haven't been employed here quite that long, it had to indicate some long-held connection with La Habrea. It was La Habrea that taught me how to cast ethereal shackles, but that was it. My further education was overseen by the words of La Habrea. More specifically, my mother, who was a researcher there. Conflict of interest? You speak of Athena, chief keyword before La Habrea. She is your mother, yes? How astute. I can see now why you were chosen to lead this investigation. You've the right of it. Athena was my mother, and it was she who invited me to join her here. La Habrea had nothing to do with it. I see there's little love lost between you two. What I cannot see is why La Habrea was appointed chief keyword when another was already in place. Was in place. My mother is no longer with us. La Habrea was all too eager to assume her responsibilities with nary a moment spared to mourn her. What love do I owe him now when he offered not one drop of compassion then? Ah, I see, she is no longer with us. An expression to convey the end of a life. I have known only the public face of La Habrea. Well, he is lauded for his ability to maintain composure in the face of unnerving circumstances. I must admit that he oft comes across as cold. Apologies, but can we speak of something else? This topic isn't an easy one for me to discuss. Of course, there are more pressing matters at hand. After all, namely how to deal with Hesperos. We have yet to see the other warders. Judging by what we know, we can surmise that Hesperos has confined them somewhere beyond our grasp. And now that he is aware of our presence, he will be preparing for our next encounter. Oh, welcome back. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing, quite the opposite in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after the creations is another moment Hesperos can contrive another advantage for himself. The wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. He said he has become one with the creations. Perhaps that means he's vulnerable to interment. In theory, that should be possible. However, it isn't enough merely to confine him after all he has done. I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he has worked for. Was it all truly so he could serve his master? To my mind, he has merely put La Habrea's own work at risk in trade for some nebulous power. La Habrea is the chief keyword of Pandaemonium. How would throwing it into disarray win his favor? It doesn't make any sense. I share your curiosity. But we must consider that our enemy has set us at a disadvantage in every sense. What do you think? Should we seek to put him in fetters? Or would it be too dangerous to allow him quarter? I want answers too. Daring as ever, I see. I know not which trials you have faced in your past, but To see you so certain is all the convincing I need. Very well, let us try Erictonios' plan. Thank you, Kinesi. I believe I can shed some light on the nature of our foe. When Hesperos spoke with us, I noticed he bore the telltale fangs of Vrikolakos, a beast which feeds off the ether of its prey. Likely that is the creation Hesperos merged his essence with. And we all know too well he can change the environment around himself at will. The battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. Sure. I'll be jumping to the FC house for this. Let's do this. Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Hey, hi. By the way, while you were away, I had a very rude person in the YouTube chat that I had to ban.
Is that the Rat Man?
No, I said YouTube chat.
YouTube. Oh.
Yep.
Well, I'm watching on Twitch, so.
Yeah, I had to hide and report because you cannot officially ban someone from your channel. Over on YouTube. The right to ban is only reserved for Google.
Alright. Wonder how long it'll take for them to action it.
Probably I'm probably gonna get a message in a few days saying, yeah, we didn't see anything wrong with this comment.
Twitch is so stupidly hyper vigilant when you report. I mean, a couple times I reported someone for harassment. I literally got 2 different "we've actioned on this guy" emails. Like, it's literally like 2 guys must have grabbed it at the same time and banned him. Twice.
Yeah, whenever I report someone for spam, it usually takes a few minutes before I see we have actioned on your report.
Oh.
Sometimes even within the same minute they action on it. Twitch works fast.
Probably a bot.
Meanwhile, YouTube's moderation is slow as molasses and, well, just sees nothing wrong with a blatantly rule-breaking comment sometimes. Sees nothing wrong with clearly rule-breaking content. Especially if it involves advertisements. For example, recently they started requiring AI disclosure on videos. I have gone through my... Every time I saw an ad that used blatantly AI generated content and I reported it for that and said, yeah, it doesn't conflict with our policy, so we've decided not to take this ad down.
You see ads?
On YouTube?
You're not using an ad block. You're not using an ad blocker.
I am on mobile. I meant on mobile.
I still use an ad blocker.
Yeah, in the app you don't get the option. I don't get the option to. I have a network level ad blocker, but I
don't use the app. I've been using the Brave browser.
Yeah, I could do it through Firefox, I think.
Yeah, you can. You need to use an add-on for Firefox. But that can also work too. Though I found that background playback on Firefox was a lot more hit or miss.
That makes sense because it's an entirely different engine, and we all know how Google never tests against things that aren't Chrome.
The thing is that normally with background playback, unless you're paying for it, they'll block it. So it's supposed to be a paid feature.
Yeah, except it's a standard feature on the browser.
So you have background playback on Chrome? Never use Chrome.
I don't even. I haven't touched Chrome in years.
I used to use Firefox all the time until they really started getting to the AI slop stuff. It's like,
no, I feel like I should run a
I'm
little
done.
BRB. I feel like I should run a little BRB though.
Yeah, that's gonna take a bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna withdraw from queue for a moment. Because I know how Duty Finder is. The moment you step away, it pops. So I'm gonna withdraw from queue for a second while I go have a short break. BRB.
Jenny says she's seen don't know when time begins. I don't know when time begins. At the end, I don't know when time begins. I don't know when time begins. I don't know when time begins. Well, I asked my phone maybe 3 years back, and I don't have an address, it's a matter of fact. But I guess you tried to drop me a line. Yeah, I signed out and I unsubscribed, then I cut the cord. Now I'm not online, but I'll be fine. Yeah, I guess that I'll get by. Well, I shaved my head and I grew out a beard, and now I only replied, I always like I steer. I'm moving to LA, I'm writing a screenplay, but it's not about you or what we were. It's about a new girl you've never met her. She's just got your name, and she looks exactly the same. Tell me you know. Tell me it's okay that I dropped right off the map, and I'm falling every day. Tell me you know. Tell me it's okay, 'cause you'll find me anyway. Yeah, if you see me walking by, well, I guarantee it's some other guy, 'cause I'm not there. I'm always elsewhere. I changed my name, I had it approved. They wrote it down, you won't see it soon. I guess you'll see there's not much to me. I guess with me there's not much to see. Tell me you know. Tell me it's okay that I dropped right off the map, and I'm falling every day. Tell me you know. Tell me it's okay, 'cause you'll find me anyway. And now you'll see that there's not much left of me. Well, once I hear I'll cross your path, I'll hurry away, you'll stifle a laugh. It's not that I'm scared, you just caught me unaware. Well, I know it's been a couple of years, but still I'm surprised we ended up here. We'll talk a bit to see what we've lost. You'll stop when you see you're a bit better off. Tell me you know. Tell me it's okay that I dropped right off the map, and I'm falling every day. Tell me you know. Tell me it's okay, 'cause you'll find me anyway. You'll find me anyway. Faster and faster, dear. It's like we're moving backwards in your rearview mirror. The road eaten up by the snow, eaten up. I can feel, I know you feel it too. A little flicker on the path we steer of subtle flashing lights. We'll go faster and faster. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time it goes faster and faster. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time it goes faster and faster. Faster and faster, dear. The road's still moving backwards. Now it looks snow eating up by the road, eating up. I can still recall the twists and turns, but it feels so straight ahead, a little farther till the end. We'll go faster and faster. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time it goes faster and faster. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time it goes faster and faster. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time it goes faster. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time it goes faster and faster. Go when you had the answer, when you were there alone. You left the door unopened when you knew that you would want more. Give it up, give it up, give it away. While you were barely aware, you let that day cut off so much hardly remain. While you knew that there was still a way. This is your only plan. Oh, now this is your only. Now this is your only plan. Oh, now this is yours. Force it to yield, you'll forge it to the lines. You let your callous be your shield, and everyone will say that it all was finished years ago, but you will stay, and you won't ever let it go. When you had the answer, and you were there alone, you left the door unopened when you knew that you would want more. Then again, you found the answer, and you were
And here we are again. Pandaemonium.
Ah, welcome back.
Welcome back.
We have 2 barriers. I'll switch to something else.
We already have 2 healers, and we currently have 3 healers. 1 more tank. We need 3 more deeps. Look at that, we have the squad. 2 healers, 2 tanks, 3 deeps, 4 deeps. 3 deeps in the crafter, let's fucking go.
Whatever.
Switch. We just need to mirror to switch off crafter for us to queue. Oh,
Mira's already switched off crafter.
There you
She's switched to white mage.
fuck it. Gotta love pre-fort parties. Insta-pop.
Oh, lovely. We only have 1 healer now.
Wait. Oh no. Healers adjust.
Oh well.
Am I right or am I wrong?
Too late now. Ollie.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
2 healers, 2 tanks, 4 deeps. Good.
Wait. There we go. Whatever. Good. Perfect. We'll leave it as that.
Let's rock. Let's rock. Time to annoy it. What is a man?
You know where the line comes from, right?
Yeah, Castlevania.
Symphony of the Night. A miserable pile of secrets.
But enough talk. How about you? How about you? I have awaited this moment. Witness the full power of elegant evisceration. Pray, what are your guides? What are your guides, bro? Free? You're having a fun tour through the new guide factory.
Go to quarter?
It's not safe to be there.
Sorry, I had a brain fart.
I did not fail. That may be good hits. That may just be because of good hits. Witness. down. Oh, a rose from... Wait, is that minion? The fuck? Hit him. Now, Themis, we end this here. Fools, I will not be put in chains. What, you want to phase 2, buddy? To think I would fall before one such as you. Perhaps I should have treated you as more than a mere nuisance. Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception. They shall return to the star with me. You're wasting your breath, Hesperos. We have the upper hand now. Surely you can see that. Yes, yes. My repertoire is not exhausted yet, however. Although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. I remain loyal to my very last. Come what may, I die with dignity. Such theatrics! How did your ambition lead you so astray, Hesperos? You were better than that. Your star shone more brightly than any other in Pandaemonium. You had La Habrea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? That you would forsake all that and sully your legacy besides. He became so blinded by his own desires that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything, and his plans lie in tatters. I fail to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would have liked to know why he chose this path. Hesperos' infatuation with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was jealous that fate had chosen you and not him to be La Habrea's son. So terrible did this jealousy become that he sought verboten power. Power that La Habrea would be unable to ignore. How does a pursuit for respect warp one's heart so? How does infatuation with one person turn into contempt for everyone else? I've never heard of such a thing. It's not as uncommon as you might think. I see. I admit I cannot but find it vexing, but perhaps that signifies naught but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in dark times. A person you trust to guide you true. How is it so to desperately wish their light would fall upon you again? But we have spent enough time assuming the intention of the departed, there are the living to consider. We must find the other warders and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Of that, at least, we can be certain. I believe I can be of help in that matter. The influence of Hesperos' magic is fading for Asphodelos. Now is the perfect opportunity to seize control of the facilities and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? What? What? What is this presence? Enretonios, what lies beyond that threshold? It's the passage which connects Asphodelos to Abyssos. Why? Being your guard, you two. Now that Asphodelos is free of obstructions, I can more easily sense disturbances in the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssos. A warding sigil? How? Let us return to the gates for now. I should like to appraise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. Dun, 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 dun. Just when I thought our work was done, did this tragedy unfold over at Pandaemonium? Although we have defeated Hesperos, it appears we have but scratched the surface of Pandaemonium's troubles. My head is still swimming with questions. But could this mean that Hesperos wasn't actually behind this? It's a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague and that your senses were muddled. I believe this was more than the result of a panicked mind. You were made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. It is possible that the same magic could have poisoned Hesperos' heart, twisting his affection for La Habrea into a burning passion. Burning obsession, sorry. Then, in his altered state, he was made an offer of power he could not refuse. Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned Hesperos into that thing? If so, it stands to reason that they wouldn't stop at him. Indeed, our mysterious mastermind does not lack for subjects for his experiments. For more potential Hermitioi. What you're saying is true. They're my colleagues. They're doomed to share the same fate as Hesperos. Do not lose heart yet, Eric. Tonios. Hesperos challenged us alone. And that tells me that the process of his creation is a long and taxing one. If he was the first Hermitios, then the rest of the warders are likely still alive. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into Pandaemonium, the way forward is sealed off, and we must focus our efforts on finding a way through. With the creation still having free reign of Asphodelos, that won't be easy. On the contrary, I yet retain control of these circles and can thus wield interment magic within their halls at will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Just like that, there's no stopping us from returning order to Asphodelos. Just so. I should require expertise to keep the peace after the subjects have been returned to their confinement, however. You are Asphodelos' sole remaining warder, after all. Truth be told, I did not expect this investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... Do you mean to send a report to La Habrea? 'Tis too soon to say. Let us first find a way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we have ascertained the whereabouts of the other warders and the identity of the party responsible for their disappearance. Agreed. Even so, it means saving even... If it means saving even a single life within Pandaemonium, then I'm not above asking La Habrea for help, should it come to that. Recent discoveries paint Hesperos' actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows, and we must proceed forward with the utmost caution. To that end, Erectonios and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection so long as we remain in Asphodelos. You should take this time to rest. Surely you are weary, and there may be more battles ahead of us. Themis' burden may grow heavier in your absence, but he's shown that he's more than capable to bear it. Still, I would help wheresoever I'm able. All we've achieved so far has been thanks to you two. And I mean to repay the debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside of placating the creatures, but I'll find a way. Nonsense! You owe us nothing. And it was thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we were able to come this far. Otherwise we would have likely succumbed to the hippocampus' assault. Each of us has arrived at this dire pass by separate paths. But it's only by combining our respective expertise that we will reach the end of it and see Pandaemonium saved. For the time being. Thank you, Themis. Hesperos' words seem to have affected me more than I realize. Together we've come this far, and together we will reach the end. I have no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Kinesi her rest. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress, yes? I dare say your story will be much more than they ever imagined. To Aporia for 1,000. Hey, a random gift sober. Thanks. Tells me of recording the ethereal signatures of each and every crystal in its recent orders. As a lonely assistant, I am honored to be given such an enormous and monumental assignment. At the Professor's behest, we have kept our records on recent events as vague as we can manage. Even if we wish to do otherwise, not much of note has transpired here as of late. Welcome back. Welcome, Kinesi. Back from the past, none the worse for wear, I see. So, what did you find? And so, I go into a big explanation. So there's evil afoot in Pandaemonium. An already ominous place, I must say. Mythic beasts and missing warders. Truly, we are fortunate to see you return to us in one piece. appears to be the voice Knazy heard from the crystal spoke the truth. As for who left it behind and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed, could it be someone who lived among the ancients? Or could it be someone trying to avert a tragedy in the future? Much remains shrouded in mystery. Yet, ilm by ilm, we shall unveil that mystery. With the help of Knazy, of course, by her actions was the fabric of the past reshaped. Yet she returns to the same present she left. It can only mean one thing, that her intervention in Pandaemonium's crisis is but one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. There's no telling what consequences will arise. Hey, another one! Hey, thanks for the sub. I'm guessing one more and you get the mount. Whatever plots unraveling within Pandaemonium, we must not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples would carry forth to the future? They might wreak havoc on the worlds of the ancients, and in despair would leave an indelible mark upon history's pages. That despair would only feed the terrible beasts that arose during the final days. The first final days already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. If the scars it left were made even deeper, then we risk losing our present entirely. Whatever the cost, our connection with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I have asked much of you already, but can I count on you to continue your work in Pandaemonium? Hey! That's free! Congrats! You get the mount. Remember, you'll need a paid subscription to Final Fantasy XIV for that. Doesn't matter. You'll need the full version, so you need either Starter Edition or Dawn or Complete Edition registered. Speaking of which, might you return the crystal into our keeping? While we cannot accompany you into the past, perhaps there's something that can be gained by researching it further. Oh? The crystal is the... I'm guessing the crystal is the key to the savage raids. It shines just as splendid since the day we met. We shall begin work right away, but I cannot promise any meaningful results for some time. And as matters in Elpis seem to be in a similar state, I must ask that you rest. But before that, allow me to make an introduction. As our research moves into its critical stage, I found it only suitable to recruit another assistant. Mileni is an expert in armaments from throughout history. Be they from the far-flung past or made in the most modern forges. Should you find aught of interest in your adventures, bring it here and she will be glad to offer her services. We know researchers in numerous fields who would love to get their hands on artifacts from bygone eras. And would give you goods in return that should aid you in the trials ahead. Furthermore, if you ever wish to peruse the records of events you have recorded here, MGG has been taking faithful and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. I sense that we have embarked upon something monumental. Something that will dwarf all else I have accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor, nor reassurance, than to have your capable assistance in this endeavor. If there's anything to be found that will contribute to your success, we shall find it. We shall not rest until we have unlocked the mysteries of this crystal, and you will be the first to know when we do. And that's the next segment of the raid series. Wow, I can actually get this entire set. But obviously these are not the... These are the dyeable ones that you can get through the Savage tier. There we go. Yeah, that's it for today. Because tomorrow we'll be doing another thing. Yeah, it's almost time I normally end, so and tomorrow I'll be doing something completely different. Myths of the Realm. So, I'm gonna wish you all a wonderful evening. I'll go ahead and cut the YouTube